So, here's the thing 2020. I was going to call it Here's the Fucking Thing, but I don't think I can put that on YouTube. I mean, I can put that on YouTube. I can put language. And by the way, if you're watching this, and if these continue, which I hope they do, there'll be language because I like the F word. Anyways, I haven't done one of these in a long time because I don't know that I had much to say. But being on day 65 of isolation has turned some thoughts inward, and I thought I'd just share them. Um, I'm not going to share them all because I made a list last night. You're welcome. I made a list last night to try to figure out what I had to say that I needed to say and get out there. So I'll save some of those for later because, you know, life's a little mundane at the moment, and I want to just be able to have something to say if I'm going to do this. Um, so I want to go back. Remember that wonderful time back in January, in February, which seems like a lifetime ago? I was lucky enough to revisit Drowsy Chaperone. And it's really weird because through all of this pandemic, 65 days of isolation bullshit, um, I keep thinking about people and random people pop in my head. And the last time I saw them was at Drowsy. And that makes me very happy. If Drowsy is the last thing I do this year, which is looking more like that's what it's going to be, then I'm happy with that because I got to reunite with my darling Janelle and the beautiful TJ Adams and all of that. Most of the original cast and all of the new folks were just wonderful. It was joy. It was what theater should be and what a collective experience in a theater is for people that are working backstage, people that are on stage, people that are in the audience. Um, and it makes me, when I think about it, it makes me miss it even more, right? I don't see that happening for me in the next couple of months. I don't know, for me, I don't know that that's possible. And that makes me really sad because theater is my lifeblood. And I can't remember the last time that I only did one show in a year. It was probably 2004. So probably 16 years ago. Jesus Christ. Time marches on. It's marching across your face. Um, so I was grateful for that. I'm glad I had that experience. I'm glad that at least 2020 will be the year that I did Drowsy Chaperone again. So if that's all I get out of it, okay. Um, those of you who know me know that I like to travel, and I got to go to New York right before all this chaos started. So literally, I was in New York the last weekend of February, first weekend of March. I came home on the 3rd of March because Jacob reminded me that that company, the new revival, was previewing on March 2nd. So I changed my trip to come back on the 3rd. And either on February 29th or March 1st, I remember sitting in my hotel room and the news announced that they found the first case in New York, in in Manhattan, the first case of the coronavirus. And I think back now that that literally was about 70 days ago because I started quarantining on March 9th because when I got back from New York, I had a cough that I couldn't get rid of, that I couldn't shake. It was weird. So I'm convinced I had a touch of the virus. But I got a chance to see Hamilton, Hadestown, Jagged Little Pill, both parts of The Inheritance. Oh, good Lord. And Company. So it was a pretty great theater trip. Oddly enough, Hamilton and Jagged Little Pill were at the bottom of that list. All the shows were great, um, but yeah, The Inheritance and Company are things that will stick with me. that I expected to see on the Tony Awards this year. That's not happening. Anyway, so I'm not going to bore you with all of that, but I'm glad I got a chance to do that because I'm actually supposed to be on a cruise right now. That didn't happen, and I don't see travel happening this year. I don't know. It's weird. Speaking of travel, work, and for those of you who know me, know that I work in the corporate travel business, has literally disappeared. It's just weird. It's weird. I equated it to when this first started and people started self-isolating and then having shelter in place orders placed on them where they had to. Um, it reminded me, and the only thing that we as an industry, in the travel industry, have ever dealt with like this was 9/11. But 9/11 happened, horrific, horrible loss of life, horrible attack on our country. But then on September 12th, we started to rebuild. The industry was shut down for a while. We had to change things. TSA became what it is because of 9/11. Um, but we started to rebuild right after that. And this feels, COVID-19 feels like we're sitting in our office in the second tower of the World Trade Center, and we know the plane is coming towards us. It just hasn't hit yet because we're not at the crux of this yet. We're going to reopen everything, whatever. I guess old people are okay to die. But you know what? I'm approaching that old people state. I'm not ready yet. So put on a fucking mask. That's going to kill you. You're fighting for that. Remember TSA. I talked about TSA in 9/11. And remember when you could just walk people to the gate and say goodbye and hug and say, see you later, and then leave? You can't do that anymore because something happened to us and it made us change how we do things. You can't take water through TSA, right? If you're not TSA pre-check, you got to take your damn shoes off. Nobody bats an eye about that because that's what makes us safe, right? That's how you can get on an airplane and be safe. So wear a fucking mask. It's not going to kill you. And really, it's just about having some humanity and caring about people that are around you. I wear a mask because if I have something, I don't want to give it to somebody that's in my building, right? I don't want to give it to the people that work here. I don't want to give it to the people that live here. And I don't want them to give whatever they have to me. It's simple. I'm not asking to take away your civil liberties, you idiots. God, that pisses me off. It really does. It makes me angry. As somebody who's lived through an epidemic and a virus that killed people, and who was condemned for it, and I'm talking about the HIV/AIDS crisis. If any of you younger folk don't know what I'm talking about, you have to make sacrifices for the better of all people. That's what that is. That's what we need to do now. Okay, wow. Well, I didn't expect to go off on that big old tangent. So I'm going to wrap it up with that, with kind of my thoughts on COVID and masks, and the travel industry, and New York and Drowsy, and a eclectic group of things. But I got other shit to talk about. So I'll be back. Until I am, please stay safe, okay? Because if you care enough to watch this, then that means I probably care about you. And I really would prefer that you nor your Nana die. Stay safe.